So these days we know all about the faces of Hollywood. Some might argue too much. But what about the faces of old Hollywood? We've got some empowering facts about starlets, thanks to BuzzFeed. First up, we've got Katharine Hepburn. She was Hollywood's leading lady, of course, for over 60 years. And in her relationship with Hollywood, she wore the pants. When the costume department at RKO stole her slacks, which were only acceptable for men at the time, by the way, she walked around the studio in her underwear and refused to get dressed until she got her pants back. Yep. Next up, we've got Eartha Kitt, the legendary singer and actress, said she once had a threesome with James Dean and Paul Newman. She summed up their romp by saying, quote, "White boys are so delicious." She even claimed the writers of Broadway's Hair stole that line from her for their musical. Okay, Erica, look at Erica. I heard you go, okay.
Jiffy Poo, are you delicious?
Wow.
I'm
speechless?
I'm not going to touch that.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about Angela Lansbury, who's currently 96 years old. I love her. In 1970, her family's Malibu home was destroyed in a forest fire, and her son Anthony got addicted to heroin. On top of that, her daughter Deidre became involved with the Manson family. Clearly, a fresh start was required, so they moved to a farmhouse in Ireland. You probably never wondered who Hitler's favorite actress was. It was Greta Garbo. He would always invite her to Germany, and she said, if the war hadn't started when it did, I would have gone and I would have taken a gun out of my purse and shot him, even saying she would have gotten away with it because she claimed she's the only person who would not have been searched. And last but not least, we've got Hollywood's #1 box office name of the 1930s, Shirley Temple. Shirley Temple had so much talent as a child that there was suspicion in Europe that she was an adult little person in disguise. Now, the Vatican actually sent out a priest to verify that she was indeed a child.
I don't like that. Nope.
You don't like that one?
Nope.
I have a really good story about Marilyn Monroe. I told Tori about it.
Yes.
So I watched this documentary on CNN that showed a different side of Marilyn Monroe. And then I wanted to fact check it just to be sure, not to say that CNN got it wrong, but I can't believe I never heard this story. Marilyn Monroe, on her rise to stardom, co-wrote an article in January of 1953, the Motion Picture and Television magazine, which was the Hollywood magazine at the time, calling out the toxic sexual harassment in Hollywood. There wasn't even a term back there, and she called the article like the wolves amongst us, and she called out studio heads,
names.
People that literally bribed her, saying, we'll give you this role if you meet me on my yacht, ... She went all in. Somehow she did not get canceled. Somehow people continued to renew her contract. But why have we never heard that story of her before?
Because what does society want you to think of Marilyn Monroe? Va va voom, that's it. She's also allowed Ella Fitzgerald to sing in a club and sat front row for the whole week so people would show up.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal, and no one knows that about her.
Right. Jeff, which one of these stories shocked you the most?
I don't know. I was kind of just thinking about old Hollywood, kind of referencing what you were thinking, Sam. Like, when we think of old Hollywood, we think of Marilyn Monroe, we think of James Dean. Like, they didn't wear pajamas. They just wore a dress the whole time, and James Dean was always smoking. Shirley Temple is still 8 years old. That's what we think when we think of old Hollywood. Now we're so into celebrity lives. We see every aspect of them eating pizza, what they have for lunch, what they look like when they exercise. It's too much. And I think the nostalgia of old Hollywood is just the image that we perceive of them.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, the mystery's been taken away.
It's the transparent 20s now.
Right, because they want to own their own narrative. If you only pop up once every 3 years, every time you have a movie coming out, then people project onto you who you are. Now you can state who you are in real time on social media. It's a double-edged sword, y'all. Double-edged.